Hey everybody, DeLongshot Signatures here, and this is my in-person autograph recap for day one of the Indy 500. Uh, Today was the only day I got approved off of work. I will be trying to go in on the weekends as well, but this almost didn't happen. One, because it rained pretty much all day long, but it was a light enough rain most of the day that didn't ruin anything. There were a couple times where it started getting pretty heavy, and at one point it got so heavy that I left and then came back to the track because I don't live too far from there. It just made more sense to do that than stand around and wait and deal with the humidity and whatnot. But totally worth it to go, and also thought it might not happen because I had hurt something in my back yesterday at work. Thankfully, I was well enough today to go and walk and not really experience too much discomfort or anything. Um, if I had, I would have left, but thankfully, everything worked out to where I could do this. And the main focus of today was to try and get as many of the 4x6 customs that I made, similar to the ones that I had done last year for the NHRA US Nationals. And these turned out really, really well, in my opinion. And I got nearly all of them done. And I believe with the couple of names that I added to the collection, I should have all 34 entries for this year's Indy 500. So we're doing really well with it. So we're going to go in alphabetical order of the 4x6 customs, and I'll share a couple of extra names that I was able to get. But first one, Augustine Canapino, signed there in blue. Alex Pillow, Benjamin Peterson, had to wait a little while to get him. He was having a conversation in his garage for a while, but he was real cool about it. Callum Ilott, only time I saw him during the day. Colton Herta, he was actually the first driver I saw as soon as I walked in, but I didn't have anything ready, so I thought it would take a little bit longer to get him to sign something, but it didn't. Last year I had a lot of trouble trying to get him, and this year it was super simple. I think he was the second driver that I got anything signed by. Connor Daly, he really liked the custom. Ed Carpenter was the last guy I got during the day. Sorry about that, my cat was freaking out. Don't expect that to be the last time. We did get Mr. Four Time on the custom photo. Unfortunately, he was running with a very dry Sharpie, so it's very hard to see there. I did get some paint pens this year, only got to try out one of them. So he didn't use the one that I had there, and this was when the rain was really starting to come down. So a lot of drivers didn't even come out. So went home and then came back, and things continue to go on pretty well. Next one is Jack Harvey. Added Catherine Legg to the collection. She was probably the one I saw signing the most. She was out and about everywhere, stopping and signing for everyone. So I thought, you know what, it's not going to hurt to double dip. So I made these generic customs in case I ran into anyone multiple times or someone that I didn't have a photo ready for. So that worked out. Here's the first guy I got on the day, Kyle Kirkwood. I had just seen Devlin DeFrancesco go into the garage. Didn't get him today, surprisingly. He was one of the best last year. And so I was standing there, had my finger on that photo in the book so that, whenever he got out, I could get him to sign it. And then Kyle just popped up out of nowhere. So it took a second to get the photo, but very glad to add him. I think the next guy that I got was Marco Andretti, who usually is kind of tough. He doesn't do a whole bunch of walking around in the garages or outside of the Andretti garage, but he got there pretty early, and there wasn't that many people throughout most of the day, especially in the first half of the day, so he was cool enough to sign for all of us. We got last year's winner, Marcus Ericsson. He stopped and signed for a bunch of people. Got Pato O'Ward. Added R.C. Anderson to the collection. He looks very different compared to this photo that I could find of him. I had a very hard time getting one for him. Renus VK, he liked the custom design. Romain Grosjean. So I think The only Andretti Autosport guy that I didn't get was Devlin DeFrancesco. Got Ryan Hunter-Reay. He was talking with a former driver buddy of his, who you will see the name of here in a little bit. But he is taking on one of the Dreyer and Reinbold Racing entries this year. So it was cool to see him at the track. I don't think I've had a chance to meet him before. Got Santino Ferrucci, Scott McLaughlin. We got Simon Pagenaud, and he was the only one who I had time to get the paint pen out for. It came out okay. Wasn't necessarily the best. I did press down on it and prep it before he signed to make sure that it worked. I tried that with another driver, and it died before I could even get him to sign it, so it didn't work out that time. It didn't help that it was raining a lot too, so it made it very difficult to try and focus on, multiple things while trying not to get the photos wet as well. We got Stephen Wilson, Stingray Rob, who I was going to have sign in a light blue paint pen, and that worked when I tested it a couple minutes before he signed. Then he took a group photo with some people, and then I tried marking the paper that it was on again real quick, and it wouldn't. So I just went ahead and switched to the blue Sharpie, but he was super cool about it. This was a fun one. Takuma Sato, he, as he was finishing up signing it, he was like, I don't remember signing this card before. And I'm like, oh, well, I made it. And he's like, oh, that's really good. So that was a nice little compliment to get. Tony Kanaan. And finally, for the customs, Will Power. He, a lot of people say he's tough. I've had pretty good luck with him. I think you just gotta be by the Penske garages, honestly, because that's where I have seen him every single time. I did get a few other names to add to the collection. Well, they're all names that I've gotten from before, but figured why not? I'll get him to sign again. Got Dario Franchitti, James Hinchcliffe, who is now one of the broadcasters for IndyCar. He was standing around talking with Ryan Hunter-Reay for probably 15 minutes or so, just in the middle of Gasoline Alley. And then got the legendary Rick Mears, who provided himself as a decoy so Joseph Newgarden could leave without signing anything. That happens quite a bit in the garages. But yeah, I'll take a 4-time winner anytime. So that was cool. I did get one 8x10 signed. I did get a bunch of these printed off, and I also have some hero cards from last year, and I tried to grab the ones that I could for this year. But with the rain, it was just becoming way too difficult with bigger photos. It was already difficult enough with the smaller ones. So this one came out okay, but I did get Scott Dixon to stop real quick and sign. He probably wasn't really planning on signing because I just said, hey, Dixon, and he was on his scooter and leaving, but he did stop, so I had to run up to him. And he signed really, really quick, and that Sharpie was dying, so not the best, but I'll take it. It is what it is. So in total, I think it came out to 31 autographs, and I think it's 27 or 28 of the customs that I made ended up getting signed. So I only have a few more to focus on this weekend. Hopefully still able to go then. Should be able to. And then I can focus on the larger photos and some hero cards. And, it was really fun. I'm really glad it worked out today to where I did get to go. And what was nice with the rain was that it kept them off the track. So a lot of the drivers didn't really have too much to do other than sign and stuff, which was nice. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. Best luck with your guys' collecting. Take care.